There comes a point in life where you realize something painful, but powerful. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends. Not your family. Not the people who promised they believed in you. And definitely not the world. Because the world only notices success after it becomes impossible to ignore. That is why Sigma rule number 3 exists. Walk alone until they follow you. Most people are terrified of being alone. They need constant validation, constant attention, constant approval. They move with crowds because crowds make them feel safe. But understand this carefully. Crowds do not create greatness. Solitude does. Every powerful transformation begins in silence. Before the applause, there were lonely nights. Before the recognition, there was rejection. Before the followers, there was isolation. Before the victory, there was struggle nobody saw. That is the price of becoming uncommon. Most people quit because nobody supports them in the beginning. But why would they support a vision they cannot see yet? People only believe after results appear. That is why weak people stop when they feel alone. Strong people keep moving anyway. A Sigma mindset understands something the average person never will. If your path is different, your journey will feel lonely. And that loneliness is not punishment. It is preparation. Because isolation teaches lessons that crowds never can. When you walk alone, you discover your real strength. You learn discipline. You learn emotional control. You learn how to survive without applause. And that changes you forever. See, the dangerous thing about depending on people is this. The moment they leave, your motivation leaves too. That is why Sigma individuals build internal power. They do not wake up motivated every day. They wake up committed. There is a difference. Motivation is emotional. Commitment is a decision. And decisions create destiny. Look around carefully. Most people wait for permission before they act. They ask, what will people think? What if I fail? What if nobody supports me? But legends ask a different question. What happens if I never try? That question creates warriors. The truth is, your dream was given to you for a reason. Not everyone around you is supposed to understand it. Some people are assigned to doubt you. Some people are assigned to laugh at you. Some people are assigned to leave you. And all of that is necessary. Because pressure creates power. Imagine a lion asking sheep for advice. Impossible. Why? Because lions are built differently. And when you begin thinking differently, acting differently, sacrificing differently, people will call you crazy before they call you successful. Remember that. First they ignore you. Then they mock you. Then they watch you. Then they follow you. That is the process. But most people quit during the first stage. They cannot handle being misunderstood. A Sigma can. Because Sigma energy is not loud. It is focused. Silent. Disciplined. Dangerous. A Sigma does not waste time explaining the vision. They build it. While others are partying. They are improving. While others are gossiping. They are learning. While others are sleeping. They are grinding in silence. And eventually, the same people who ignored them begin asking, how did you do it? But they never saw the sacrifices. They never saw the pain. They never saw the mornings you woke up exhausted but kept going anyway. They never saw the self-doubt you fought alone. Because the hardest battles are invisible. That is why you must become mentally stronger. Not emotionally reactive. Not approval addicted. Not distracted. Focused. There will be days nobody texts you. Nobody checks on you. Nobody believes in you. Good. Use it. Turn isolation into fuel. Because when you stop chasing attention, you gain power. Silence is power. Discipline is power. Self-control is power. And the ability to continue alone? That is rare power. You must understand. Temporary loneliness is better than permanent regret. Read that again. Temporary loneliness is better than permanent regret. Many people stay average because they fear separation. They stay in toxic environments. Stay around negative people. Stay around distractions. Why? Because they are scared to walk alone. But growth requires separation. A rocket cannot reach space while staying attached to the ground. At some point, you must detach. Detach from negativity. Detach from fake friends. Detach from energy that weakens your focus. And yes, sometimes that journey becomes lonely. But lonely does not mean losing. Sometimes lonely means you are finally finding yourself. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of discipline. A stronger version. A calmer version. A richer version. A wiser version. But that version only appears when you keep moving without external validation. That is the test. Can you continue without applause? Can you continue when nobody notices? Can you continue when progress feels slow? Because winners are built in those moments. Everybody wants success. Few can survive the process required to achieve it. Success is not built in comfort. It is built in repetition. Daily repetition. The gym when you feel tired. The work when nobody supports you. The studying when others relax. The discipline when distractions call your name. That is where separation happens. That is where leaders are created. You see, average people seek entertainment. Focused people seek evolution. One wastes time. The other builds a future. Choose carefully. And understand this clearly. You do not need a massive circle to become powerful. You need vision. You need discipline. You need consistency. The eagle flies alone for a reason. Because high altitudes require strength. Not everyone can go with you to the next level. Some people only belong in one chapter of your life. Do not hate them. Outgrow them. Silently. Respectfully. Powerfully. Because arguing with people who misunderstand your purpose is a waste of energy. Let results speak. Nothing silences doubt louder than success. And success achieved alone builds a different kind of confidence. Not arrogance. Certainty. The certainty that you can survive hard seasons. The certainty that you can rebuild after failure. The certainty that you no longer need approval to believe in yourself. That is true freedom. And once you reach that level mentally, everything changes. You stop forcing connections. You stop begging for attention. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you focus. You build. You improve. Quietly. That quiet phase is important. Never underestimate silent seasons. Seeds grow underground before the world sees the tree. Your current struggle may look invisible now. But invisible work creates visible results. Keep going. One day people will admire the life they once laughed at. One day people will quote the person they once doubted. One day people will follow the individual who walked alone. But by then, you will not need their validation anymore. Because the journey changed you. The pain sharpened you. The solitude strengthened you. And the struggle introduced you to your real self. So if you feel alone right now, listen carefully. Do not stop. Do not slow down. Do not betray your future because the present feels difficult. Every great story includes isolation. Every powerful transformation includes sacrifice. Every leader spends time alone before the world recognizes them. This is your season of construction, not celebration. Construction is messy. Construction is exhausting. But construction creates greatness. Keep building. Keep grinding. Keep evolving. Even if nobody claps. Even if nobody notices. Even if nobody understands. Walk alone if you must. Because eventually, the same people ahead of you today will be behind you tomorrow, watching how far you went. And when that day comes, remember this. You did not become powerful because people believed in you. You became powerful because you believed in yourself when nobody else did. That is the Sigma mindset.